I'm Reverend Shannon Stange. Shannon Stange. I'm here live at Missions Fest Vancouver 2019, and I am with Ruthie.
Hi.
Hey Ruthie. Now you're one of our main speakers.
I am, yes, I am. Excited to be here. First time in Vancouver.
Wow, where did you fly in from?
San Francisco.
No kidding.
Yeah.
First time Vancouver?
First time Vancouver, first time at Missions Fest.
Wow.
Loving it.
Awesome,
Yeah, it's
awesome.
great.
Now you're with an organization called Because Justice Matters.
Correct.
That's based out of San Francisco?
Yes.
What do you guys do?
Well, we're actually Ministry of YWAM in San Francisco.
Oh, okay.
And we work with women and girls in low-income urban communities.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And what does that look like? Low-income urban communities?
Yes.
Is that in the States or is...
Yeah, it's primarily focused in a neighborhood in San Francisco called the Tenderloin, and we're working with women who are facing violence, exploitation, poverty, but then also working with girls who are growing up in that environment, supporting their families, supporting them. Lots of different programs going on, just really empowering and loving women in the inner city.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
So you work with these girls. You know the theme of the conference, right?
I do, yeah.
We're talking about discipleship. We're talking about what that means for the impact on people's lives.
Yes.
A lot of times when ministries are working with people, they have a long-term vision, and they don't really maybe sometimes put the word discipleship on it, but if you're walking with people long-term, that typically means that you have that vision for discipleship. What does that look like in the context of working with these girls in urban centers of San Francisco?
It's a great question. I think for us, really discipleship, I mean for everybody, right? Discipleship is about relationship. So everything that we do is really couched in the sense of how are we walking with you long-term? How are we building relationships? So we never want to be just running programs and doing stuff, but actually getting into people's lives. So just an example of how we do that, one of the very first things we started doing was a manicure outreach.
Oh, cool.
And so we paint nails. We started doing that 10 years ago. We're still doing it with women. And what it provides is this initial connection, but then ongoing connection, because women come back, paint their nails, and you get that time to have conversation. And so for us, discipleship it can look really simple. It can just be, hey, how are you doing? You're living on the street. How can I help you with that? Or it can be really spiritually focused, like how can I pray with you? And it all happens over a manicure table.
That's neat. Put a name and a face on it. It doesn't have to be full name, but you know, like, give me a story that would really encapsulate what it is that you're doing that has made that impact in a discipleship capacity in a girl's life.
Yeah, oh my goodness. I mean, what is happening with our girls is unreal. We actually started initially working with women 10 years ago, and then over time realized that if we wanted to break the cycle of violence, the cycle of poverty, of trauma, that we needed to start working with girls. And so we launched a youth department, and we actually started doing dance. We use dance. And so that is kind of how our youth ministry started, and has grown from there. We started teaching ballet to girls that were growing up in the inner city, and they come into our programs and they're shy and they may be insecure and lacking self-confidence. They're dealing with a ton of complexity and challenges outside in the neighborhood that they're growing up in. And yet in the dance studio, we get to impart to them, like, this is how we see you. And so we talk about our girls being future leaders. They're not girls growing up in the inner city, they're future leaders. And so over
sort of
time,
planting a vision in their own heart for who they could become.
Absolutely. And that vision is really worked out through discipleship, through teaching them to hear God's voice, through teaching them to support each other. And so they're growing into that vision, and we're seeing so many of them thrive, and just now actually bringing their friends and saying, hey, come to this dance class, because they'll tell you who you are. And it's just beautiful to walk with them to get them to that place. Yeah.
You know, we're almost out of time, but you know, actually doing a seminar this afternoon. You're speaking tonight, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm doing a seminar at 5 o'clock in room 1 through 3. I'm going to be talking about the ministry that I lead. Our youth director will be talking to. I'm doing the youth rally tonight too. I'm super pumped.
Wow.
If anyone's watching and they want to bring their youth, it's not too late.
Yeah,
like, come
bring
on
them
out.
on down.
Yeah, God's going to really activate and do some powerful things. So.
Wonderful. And you know, you're also an exhibitor here.
Yes.
So we just don't have enough time to. I'd love to have a longer conversation. But you know, like people out there watching right now, if you want to come down and visit and talk to Ruthie, or the people that you are on your team, where can they find you?
We're
here
in Zone
and
D.
And if they miss you, so Zone D.
Zone D, booth 2.
And if they miss you,
online, becausejusticematters.org, and all social media platforms.
Wonderful. Ruthie, I really appreciate you coming down here. You know, Missions Fest is a special place. Maybe just as we're wrapping up here, and you got a busy schedule, so you got to go. I know that. But just take 1 second here and just share your heart for what you hope people get out of Missions Fest this weekend.
Yeah, well, I know how powerful it was when I came to events like this when I was younger. Like, I think events like this really activate. They give people the opportunity to see what's going on, what is God doing, and how can I be part of that? And it kind of just sets a fire. So whether it's like young people or older people, like, I would just say, come on down to Missions Fest and see what God has for you.
Thanks so much, Ruthie.
Yeah.
God bless.